Sylvan builds lasting skills, habits, and attitudes for...
Transform this wooden fossil into a fierce, lone teeth.
Your mouth will really rock once you get your lips around us.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel for some NC Miata content. Today we're doing something a little interesting because I've always been curious about this sort of thing, and it's not like the end-all be-all of what this video is. Based on the title, you guys know we are going to do some data logging in the Miata, something that we've done on the channel before, except we're going to be able to take that data in those spreadsheets and punch it into a digital dyno. With the digital dyno, it's not going to be super accurate, but it should give us a good idea of kind of what the car is doing power-wise based on the RPM, tire size, speed, things like that. So we should be able to get a little bit of a baseline on what kind of power the car might be making. After we get our data logs, I'm going to send them off to Mitchell. You guys probably follow Mitchell already on YouTube. He also has a 2.5 NC with a very similar setup to mine. He does a lot more track stuff. So check his YouTube channel out. It is right here and also down in the description. So thank you, Mitchell, for helping me out with these digital dynos. But with that, let's jump into the car, get data logging. I'm gonna get it warmed up, do some initial baseline stuff. Just because I'm still data logging the car and still getting tunes and everything, so I need to drive around for a little bit to get everything warmed up and out of the open loop settings and send those files off so we can get some more tuning done and do some power pulls. I'll film those. I won't show you guys everything else, but let's get started. Enough talking. Let's jump in the car. All right, so we are in the car, and I took it around for, gosh, probably about 30 minutes now, just driving around town on some back roads and going through the gears and things like that. And unfortunately, it kind of feels like my clutch is slipping a little bit, which is weird because I mean, it's like a brand new clutch, and I, worked it in and everything. I did the break-in process, but I don't know. We'll see. It could just be a tire spinning and I don't notice it because the car's so loud. I don't know. I guess we'll find out soon enough whether or not that is an issue or not. But right now, we are going to our little spot where we do our data logging pulls, and we are just going to do our third gear, 2,000 RPM to just about 7,000, and then we can take those files, load them into the digital dyno, and see what we get. So come along and let's do a couple full throttle pulls. All right, so we're logging to file now, and we're just gonna get up to speed here. Because now, of course, there's people coming. I always try to do this, like, I need to wake up and do it on like a Sunday morning at 5 a.m. There's always just so many people out on the roads now. It's crazy. All right, slowing down and go. Yeah, something's going on with the clutch. I don't know if you can see that or hear it on the camera or not, but it's like the moment I get above 3,000 RPMs, it just like slips or something. I have no idea. Yeah, something's not right. So that's cool. That was just fourth gear just now. And it just, the moment you get over 3,000 RPMs, yeah, something's not right at all, because that was fifth gear. Just the moment you get over 3,000 RPMs, it just won't grab or something. It's always something with the, man, it's always something with cars. Can never get it right the first time. Something always has to go wrong. And I mean, the clutch slipping issue, I've been driving the car like every week. Never had this problem before. And the last time I did a data log was in March. So, I mean, it was last month and it was fine then. I did a couple data logs and it was just fine. So, I don't know. I'm really, really annoyed and quite frankly upset because changing out a clutch or something is not like the easiest thing to do in the world. But I'll try to do another log right now, and maybe you guys can see it on the camera this time. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right, so I'm in third gear right now, and I'm gonna drop it down to 2,000 RPM. And I'm gonna wait for this person to pass me. And I'm going to go. And it's gonna slip in about 5 seconds. Yep, there it goes. That is not good. That is not good. It slips from like, I don't know, hopefully you guys can maybe help me with this, but it slips from like 3,000 to 4,000. If you stay in it, it kind of catches at 4,500. I don't know what would cause that, but not happy, to say the least. All right, so needless to say, I am not stoked on these new developments. Yeah, so I think the clutch is slipping. If anyone can help diagnose with me, I'd appreciate it. I did do like a second gear, like I did full throttle second gear down the street to above 3,000 RPMs, and it didn't really slip at all. So I'm hoping that my transmission is not the issue here. Like third and fourth gear on the transmission are bad, and fifth gear, I don't know. It's extremely frustrating because I feel like I've just got this car close to being done, and now I've got some new issue. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave off. I'm gonna have to wait on the digital dynos because it's kind of pointless if there's nothing to really measure and the measurements are invalid because the RPMs are going up and the car's not really moving. So yeah, sorry for this kind of a bummer of a video, but wasn't exactly what I was planning on doing. Wasn't really planning on making a sad video today of diagnosing things, but I guess that's what this video's turned out to be. So if you guys have suggestions for me, please leave them down in the comments below. Otherwise, we might be taking the car back apart. So at least the transmission. And I guess that will give us the opportunity to fix the rear main seal leak, which has been an issue this whole time, but I mean, it's not an issue because I just fill the car up with oil when it needs it. I've never let it get low or anything. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. All right, so I actually thought this video was going to end, but it is not, because we're just gonna get down to business. Part of being motivated for me is like, I always have this anxiety of like starting a big project. The best way to do it for me is to just jump in. So we're taking the transmission off, doing all that. So I'm just gonna get started. Today, at least in this video, I shout out to Mitchell again because I called him, and even though we didn't do the digital dyno stuff, I called him, kind of explained the situation just to get some more input on, you know, what might be going on with the car. And I mean, there's a couple options. It goes into gear fine and it does everything. So I don't think it's the transmission. It could be the clutch has gone bad, which I have a hard time believing because it's a new clutch. It's only got like 1,000 miles on it. And I really don't drive the car too hard unless I'm data logging. And I just have a hard time believing that the clutch is bad already. Or it's, hopefully the simplest thing is my rear main leaked oil onto the flywheel. Flywheel spun the oil around. Now there's oil between the mating surfaces of the clutch assembly, and I'm hoping that the oil didn't ruin the friction disc. So we're just gonna see. Not gonna be taking it off today because I just don't have the time or strength of body to do that right now. It's been a long day. So it kind of sucks taking the car apart again. I'm actually really quite disappointed in this, and it's my own fault because, so I don't know if I've ever explained this to you guys or not, but what happened was when I was doing the 2.5 engine swap, and it's funny because I go back and I look at the clips to realize my mistake. And you know, I'm a DIYer, I don't do everything perfect, and I don't do everything right. So a mistake was bound to happen with the 2.5. What I did was I replaced the rear main seal. That was like one of the first things I did on the engine. And when I put the new oil pan on, the rear main seal had a little thin strip of rubber, and I just thought that that was fine. So I didn't put any RTV on that part of the oil pan. And over time, it just leaked. Every so often it would leak, and it really wasn't a big deal. It would just leak, and I put more oil in the car when it needed it. I checked it like every single day. So hopefully all I have to do, if I take out the transmission, clean off the surfaces of oil on the clutch assembly, and take the rear main seal off, pop a new one in, put a new bead of RTV on the oil pan, and I'm hoping that we can just call it good, because I did so much work on this car. I want to get it right, and I don't feel like taking it all apart again. I will if I have to, because you know, I love the car and everything, and it's been a blast. I want to continue driving it, and it was just a real bummer when I took it out this morning to go drive around, have some time to myself, and it's broken. So you guys know how it is though. I'm gonna stop babbling and I'm gonna put the car up, take the drive shaft out, empty the fluids, and that's all I'm gonna do today. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll just film as I go. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys, and look forward to more content. Alright, so just so you guys can kind of see what I've been dealing with. So there's my little oil tray, and underneath the car, I mean, these braces. And right here is kind of where the oil is coming out. So I know it's coming from between the transmission and the engine. It's not anywhere around the edges of the oil pan. It's just right here. And I mean, we've been getting oil everywhere. Just the way it's been for a while now. I didn't feel like I needed to tell anybody, because you know, it's just the way it's been. So we're gonna get all this undone, and I guess I'm gonna have to remove the exhaust too, at least the catalytic converter portion with the mid pipe. But right now, like I said, we're just going to drain the fluids in this video. Thank you. You fixed it. All right, well, fluids are all drained, so we can start taking apart the transmission and things like that. Not a fun sight to see the car up on jack stands. I went back and looked to see like when I completed this. I completed it the weekend before my kid was born, so like mid-September. And it's like April. I got to enjoy it for 6 months, 7 months, just about that. So certainly not long enough. But yeah, we're gonna get her back. We'll get her back on the road and back to enjoying it. I mean, at least I have some content for you guys now. Not that you haven't seen all of this basically already, but yeah, it's depressing. But this is the game with cars. I mean, it's like, especially when you start modifying things yourself, when you take apart a bolt, take a part off, put it back on, it's never really gonna go on the same way it did. And that's certainly the case here. And yeah, so gotta fix my mistakes. And it is what it is. This sort of thing happens. Yeah, I guess I know what my weekends are gonna be full of now. Back onto the Miata stuff. Not that I wasn't doing Miata stuff already, but back to like the mechanical stuff. No fun modifications. I don't know. I'm gonna close this video out here. Sorry, it's been kind of a bummer. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, this is the way it goes sometimes, and we're just gonna keep going and get this car back on the road, because man, now seeing it like this, I wanna drive it even more. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Be sure to go down below, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up, leave your comments below, and I will see you in the next video.